Thanks, Zach. Well, it's a new year with a new president. So what does it all mean for business and for business owners? We're getting an update this morning from small business owner and columnist, our friend Jean Marks, who joins me now in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year. We haven't seen you in a little while.
It's been a bit.
Nice to have you on the couch. So tell me, a lot of newness going on. What's the buzz in the business community? What do we expect from this new administration?
Well, the good news, Eve, is that small business owners are really optimistic, right?
Okay.
So the National Federation of Independent Businesses, they publish their monthly Small Business Optimism Index, and it's at a 6-year high coming into this administration. So that's really good. There's more of a pro-business, administration in there, so that's a good sign for small businesses. But I've been telling my clients, a lot of my readers, Eve, like, buckle up, guys, because there's still a lot of challenges ahead.
And a lot of question marks, probably. Let's talk about some changes to retirement. You were telling me paid leave and minimum wage. Are these things a definite to take effect in 2025?
Yeah, so first of all, in the state of Pennsylvania, we don't have that much to worry about. So that is good news. But we have a lot of employers, a lot of people that have remote employees and people working in different states. And we have this pro-business administration, which is fine, but a lot of the stuff is being pushed down to the states. So there are a number of states now that are requiring mandatory retirement plans that businesses have to sign up for. There are a number of states that are requiring paid leave. There are 30 states that have minimum wages now that are higher than federal minimum wage, and another 70 states and localities that are raising their minimum wage just this year. So if you have employees that are outside of the state, it's a big problem. And so a lot of my clients ask me what to do about that, Eve. And I always say, like, if you're running a small business, I don't understand why people don't outsource. They should be using, I tell my clients to use, like, a Paychex as like a big HR firm. You outsource your work to them, and then they just take care of all the compliance work for you. So, it's good that you've got a pro-business administration in Washington, but it is kind of creating a lot more work for businesses at the state and the local level.
Okay, something to think about. Let's talk about stuff with tax season. Are there any new or expiring tax code regulations we need to be aware of?
It is tax armageddon this year, both for you and me, and for small business. We have all of these provisions of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. All of them are like expiring this year. And if they just expire, like, our standard deduction gets cut in half, income tax rates go up, small businesses will pay more taxes. So there's a lot going on. So we're going to be hearing a lot about this in the next few months as the administration makes their proposals. Their goal is to try and make these things permanent going forward. And also the Trump administration recently announced they don't want to tax overtime wages. They don't want to tax tips. They don't want to tax Social Security. The Democrats have the reasonable response of saying, well, how are we going to pay for this stuff? So, and there's only a slim majority that the GOP has in Congress. So again, my advice, you want to outsource that stuff. You do want to talk to, like, have a good CPA on hand. I think we're going to get more clarification by late spring, early summer.
So something to watch there.
Very disruptive, though.
All right. Sounds like another segment.
It is going to be another segment.
How about AI? What kind of impact do we expect AI to have on businesses? So
8 states already, not Pennsylvania yet, but 8 states already are enacting legislation about AI. AI can be pretty biased. So when people are using these applications to hire and recruit and manage their workforce, there are some problems inherent in doing that. So a lot of states are starting to crack down on the use of AI. And again, if you're an employer and you're working in the state of Pennsylvania, you might think, like, well, it doesn't apply to me. But if you're doing operations in another state that does have this legislation, or if you have employees in another state, you may be subject to that legislation. If you ignore it, you could be facing big fines. So again, I keep getting back to the theme of outsource to somebody else, have that HR firm, have that accountant. Somebody's got to be looking after that stuff for you.
So with some question marks that you just mentioned, things we need to watch, what should small business owners be doing now to best prepare for the upcoming year and this administration?
So what they have to do is they have to align themselves with experts. And you and I have talked about this for years. Like the smartest business owners that I meet, they do what they do best, and they sort of outsource the rest, So there's all this HR stuff, fine. Outsource to an HR firm like a Paychex. You've got all this tax and accounting stuff. You really want to make sure you've got a good CPA aligned as well. All of these changes happening this year, we do have some time right now to put ourselves in place to make sure they're prepared for them. But, we need experts to do this stuff because we're trying to run our businesses. We got enough headaches on our own.
Okay, well, great advice, great things to watch. People can find your full article on your website, jeanmarks.com, or on the Inquirer.com. Okay, thank you so much. Great advice. Always love chatting with you. jeanmarks.com for all of Jean's great advice, and we will be right back after this. Stay with us.